And we bike. All right, we're gonna talk some Rippaverse, some WGA strikes. Bro, plug your new channel, new pivot, new direction, new content. By all means, let everybody know where they can find you moving forward.
All right, so my new channel is called Stagehands In. If you need the asterisk is at Stagehands Motel 6. You can find it on Heavily Flawed Individuals channel, which is in that blue asterisk. I'm also on Instagram. If you have I want to say if you have like a request you want me to do, I'll research it when I have time to do it, and because I have a lot of other topics that I'm doing, so I've been doing just that. Channel's been doing pretty well, man. I can't believe it. Like I can't believe it. But yeah, I just been researching the algorithm and doing all that stuff again, and I mean, 135 ain't bad for 2 weeks, but I mean, as the algorithm just keeps on blowing up the channel, it's just like, dude, I can't even believe that.
That's what's up. All right, so what brought us here today? Two topics that, well, the main one we've been keeping our eye on is the writer strike. But Eric July, aka Rippaverse. Now, I have some thoughts, but let's get into the lawsuit. And so you take it away. Take it away. Get us up to speed.
So basically, what's happening with ISOM's or Eric July's company, I'm not saying that it is under fire, but it's been getting a lot of, some press with a lot of detractors, right? And with that being said, I would have to say that the ISOM character is being considered copyright infringement due to either the logo on his belt, that would be number one, or number two, it would be that ISOM shares also a resemblance to like the international something of ministries, international school of ministry, something like that.
Yeah.
And that is what somebody has said about ISOM. And me personally, I mean, look, listen, I support Rippaverse Comics, but I'm like, okay, can you please elaborate how the International School of Ministry would, have enough time to even want to, take down somebody like ISOM? Like, why would you want to do that? Especially with like certain undertones of it, I personally don't understand.
So the case, well, I got to pull it up. The Good Shepherd Ministries International versus July and Ripper LLC in the District Court of California. Basically, it's trademark causes trademark infringement. So this for everyone that wanted to know what it looks like. It's a real lawsuit. Well, in the beginning stages of it, this is very similar to when WWE sued WWE, which was the World Wildlife, or no, the WWF, the World Wildlife Federation sued the WWF at the time for the very
Hmm.
same trademark infringement, and WWF lost and had to change it to WWE,
Hmm.
even though they're in two sparsely different industries that had nothing to do with each other. WWE lost, or they lost that lawsuit. I'm not saying that's the case here, but trademarks is usually, who gets the name first for the most part. Unlike a copyright, but a
Right. Yeah.
trademark is like, this is it. This is the end all be all. I don't know. It's too early to tell. Are you worried about him losing this case if it goes that far? If they don't settle?
I don't think he's gonna lose the case so much, but I mean, it's like there are people that I guess are detractors of him and are just like, well, they're saying that he is they're defaming him and he's defaming them and all this other stuff, right? And for me, I would just be like, I think Eric is handling it nicely because he's not in the public eye so much, causing a stir, like because most people would be like, oh, I'm getting sued and I'm gonna cause a stir on my social media accounts. Nah, he's not doing that. So I don't think there's really much to worry about, considering the fact that like he's handling this nicely. So I think he might win this. There might be a slim chance where he might have to pay residuals to like the International School of Ministry or something else like that. I mean, he's gonna have to have a good case, I would say.
Yeah. Going by his videos, he feels pretty confident. He says he's confident in his lawyer, his team, his firm, as most people would be. But let me ask you this: did he bring this upon himself to a certain extent?
Um, I think when you have a following like Eric does, when you have like when you're kind of you're kind of I will say this, okay, as a black man, I'm not going to even hide it. You have $1 million on your company, right? And everybody's looking at you to fail. That's what like most of America wants to see. A black man failing with $1 million company that he crowd raised,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of what his company is just crowdfunding. A lot of people just saying, "Hey, I want a comic book that you are making, and I believe in your comic book, so I'm going to crowdfund this." So basically, his whole warehouse and everything else has been crowdfunded and has made residuals back. I would say, you know, to a certain extent, being a part of, I would say the culture war, because that's another problem, is that when you are an entertainer and you are also part of the culture war type of scenario, or you are affiliated with people that do talk about the culture war, that brings you into a light of, okay, which side are you on? Because there is a side of where you need to pick. Now, back in the days of Red Sings the Blues and me being a fence sitter, everybody was like, so where do you fall? Where do you stand? And it's like, well, you need to, if you want certain types of money, well, you're gonna have to pick one or two sides. I still sit on the fence with it. But you know, for me, I would say that I guess I'm not saying he had it coming, but it was just like it was inevitable that this would happen.
Part of my line of questioning is because I'm rooting for him as well, but there's times I kind of wish he wouldn't be so brash about it. It's almost like you're rubbing your success in the face of just because you can, and I'm like, this never ends well for the brothers. I
Yeah.
can't pick one instance where actions like that have led to long term success to a certain extent. Uh,
Yeah.
am I wrong in my assessment?
No, no, no. You're definitely right on that assessment. I again wish Eric July success, but I think, like, okay, you have $1 million today, and it's like, dude, that listen, I would be very, very careful, okay, because that can go away within a day.
Right.
But I still have faith in him, okay? I will just say that. But because I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, well, you just don't have you don't have faith in Eric July." No, I do, but I also know that you are on two sides of this, right? And as a black man that is starting his businesses, doing his own thing as his own independent, I know where this leads, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have two sides of people whom you are messing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already have the white people, and I know it is that way. You have the white people that are already on the stick to the status quo side, and then you have those white people that are not a part, they don't want that anymore. Okay. But cross both of them and you're screwed. Okay. But I think the one thing that Eric July is doing well is that, well, he's not choosing his side at all. But also, I think what really needs to be toned down is, yeah, the kind of bragging and gloating. But I would also say that although it is an inspiration and I'm glad that he's doing it, there also has to be this like line of like, okay, we got to be careful with what we're doing, with what we're saying, and all this other stuff, because that can come to bite people in the ass. Like I mean, that's just what I'm seeing. I'm keeping up with it, and again, I just think that certain things that he's doing is I'm yeah. If I had $1 million today, I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of weird to me because I didn't know he kind of got in the mud with as many people as he normally does. I was shocked. Like the Vito guy and the Don guy. Like, I guess
oh
they're
yeah,
all
yeah.
they're all
Vito,
sworn
Vito,
enemies. And I'm just like,
Vito, Vito and Dick Masterson have
yeah.
for years have been like Dick Masterson during the what was it, Dr. Phil days, bro. Like, bam.
What's weird? It almost reminds me of the guys down the street. Just how messy it is. I'm like, y'all acting like this
Oh,
over here.
this is the but this is the thing. this is the thing, and I think he knows this, is that as a black man, it gets really messy when you start messing with white people. Like if you make $1 million, white people look at that as a threat.
Yes.
Okay. And you and I know this. This is why, like, when I say stuff, I don't be bragging about it. Like my channel, my new channel, I don't be like on my other channel talking about it. I just be promoting the videos. That's it. Like I just tell people like, hey, come to my channel. That's that. And I've had a few, people, I've been in the clouds. Some people were cheering my demise of my channel, but I just never said anything about the new channel because if you check out the new channel with 6 videos, it's like, dude, how did you do this within 2 weeks?
Mhm.
I don't know, but I
Yes.
don't. I complain. I don't complain, bitch and moan. I don't brag about that because I know. I know exactly how this shit works.
Yeah, it's a known fact that any type of black success offends those and offends deeply and quickly. Um, I just it just feels like this is part of the par for course, the attack on upon him to punish him for him being successful. Not just him being successful, but him bragging about being successful. You can still be stoic in your wins, but once again, if you go the Floyd Mayweather route, like you kind of rub it in people's faces, you're gonna make a lot of enemies. I just wish he would tone that part of it down. You're winning. It's obvious you're winning. You don't have to say anything. We can see that you're winning. I just think, man, it's just like, bro, that's like, you're
Well, they do say that money does change people.
yeah, yeah. Is that
No,
what we're seeing?
I don't know. I want to have hope. I want to have faith that Eric, you know, Eric expands his success. I really do. I want him to invest in his success. I really, really do. But I just also kind of fear for that because I know that when you get $1 million, you know, I mean, we all know, we all we all seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Earn your, we about to see where we earn your leisure. All right, I'm just saying.
Eh, eh, I'm not even gonna get started on that. Yes, everybody's gonna be start making pivots, real soon.
Mhm.
Um, Once again, I think okay, 5 years from now, does Eric? I'm gonna keep saying it. I think he sells. I think he sells. Because right now he's filling a huge gap and a void in the comic book market, which is awesome. But once again, if he takes enough market share from DC and Marvel, I think two those two behemoths coming after him in a business way, I don't think he would last long. I think he would have no choice but to sell.
I mean, that is something in which I wouldn't want him to do. But considering, how things are, like with the writer strike and everything, and let's be clear here, the comic book industry is a, niche industry, but it's also a very small one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So not only that, in order to really start pissing off, DC and Marvel, you better make a movie, man.
Okay.
Like that's where they really, have a big problem with you. Comic books are one thing, you know, but also making movies and animation because he did come out with an animation. I liked it. I liked it. I like what I was seeing.
Mm.
Also, I would also say that yeah, he's gonna have to go into that route soon enough because DC and Marvel still look at movies and doing like series as like a okay, we're gonna knock on the door and try to get you to sell. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about independent artists that everybody and no matter what they say, no matter what they whatever, I don't care what people say. I said if you're an independent artist, and I've seen this happen way too many times, people sell to Hollywood. A24 sold to Hollywood. Listen, they were an independent they were an independent studio way before then.
Way before.
They were an independent studio killing Hollywood, but then they sold to Hollywood. With the disaster movie, I forget what was it? It was in the billions, right? Because The Room is a cult classic among many different people, me myself included. I love The Room with Tommy Wiseau, but Hollywood saw that as okay. Instead of just taking you down, we're gonna get you to buy. And guess what? Guess what A24 did? They sold.
Yeah, same with Blumhouse. Now Blumhouse is everywhere. They got the Fast Night of at Freddy's IP. They got their own IP with Megan. So let me ask you, with Eric July creating his own IP is everything in Hollywood at this point. If you don't have IP to sell or to create, you're not gonna have much leg to stand on. With this brand new IP, if he can hold it, some type of value for the next 5 years, once again, those checks, they cut big checks, man. Amazon's got big money, Netflix got big money. I just you'll never convince me he'll be independent after 5 years moving forward. If his IP has any type of value to it.
Well, I mean, we also have to see about how Hollywood is in 5 years, because I would also say that, as a guy that, kind of is in cahoots with Hollywood, but not really in Hollywood so much, but I do know people that are in it. Um, I would say that when it comes down to what's happening right now with the, writer strike and all this other stuff, and we'll get into that. But I would say, because Hollywood is like this. Um, I would say that Hollywood itself will still keep going, but also to have, yeah, I would say, skin in the game, and not only that, to have stock in Hollywood. I mean, everything. I mean, Hollywood is no different than Wall Street. I think people need to kind of get it like that, right? Because the way that I think about it is that if you have stock in something, right, you don't want to sell it, or you don't want to give it a pink slip. But Hollywood is like its own Wolf of Wall Street. But it's like, they tell you, we're gonna give you this for that, for your own IP. We'll take it on and do whatever we want with it. Okay, that's usually how Hollywood works. But I would say, like, all right, because everybody's talking about an independent resurgence, and as me as an independent, I would say I would love that. I truly would. I would truly love an independent resurgence. However, and I'm just keeping it a buck with all of you, I would say that not a lot of, okay, and I'm not trying to be like a jackass about this. Not a lot of people are creative. That's just the way it is. Not a lot of people are creatives. Really, they're not. Okay? If I were to tell you, like, okay, somebody, gave me their mixtape, and I listened to it for at least 30 seconds. I took that shit out. I'm like, here's a back. How did you think of it? I didn't care for it. So you're saying I'm not a creative? Yes.
That's
I'm
normally the yeah, that's,
I'm not I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but I'm just like, you're trying to sell me something.
no. We'll give it a verse and we'll give it a verse and a hook. If the hook doesn't grab it, it's like nah.
It's just like my videos.
Yeah,
It's literally just like my videos.
yeah.
If I can't sell something to you in the next 30 seconds, what are you watching my channel for?
I agree. I agree.
But no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I, I could see it given. I could see ISOM being given the invincible treatment over to Amazon. I don't think they would necessarily just do whatever they wanted with it. I think they would take his input in seriously and do it justice. You know, I could see Amazon doing well with his. I just think he's gonna fill. He's filling a void. People are taking notice, and they're just waiting to see if he'll crash and burn in the next couple of years. And if he holds, man, the check. I mean, how many zeros? Like, what do you want? Like I would say he'd be a fool to not do it
Mm-hmm.
because the stress on him and his team, they're not a corporate giant. It's about what 10, 15, 20 employees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? After 4 or 5 years, those guys they're going to burn out. They're not necessarily a machine, but they're getting what they're getting done. But to compete, not even compete, but just to, I don't know, the wear and tear on it, on independence, it's something different, man. The stress is
Well,
different.
I mean, also talking as an independent, a lot of people go the union route. Like for me, I went the IATSE route. Like as an independent, you got to deal with either W-4 or 1099, right? And some people don't even want to give you W-4 anyway. They want to give you
Right,
1099.
right.
if you're giving people 1099 contracts as $1 million company, you might have a problem. All right. Because people want that W-4. They want their residuals. They want their, they want their health, pension. Like people don't say this, but there's a reason why the entertainment industry is a gig economy because I mean, you get a contract one day, and when that contract is up, that's it. You don't get paid for that much. Okay, the company still gets more of the residual, but you're not getting that. Okay, you're lucky enough to get a W-4 so that when you go do your taxes, at least you get some form of refund back, right? But if you get a 1099, that's all theirs unless you have a good accountant that knows what they're doing with 1099s and can get you that refund.
Okay, perfect segue. So let's get over to the creatives in Hollywood. The bad guys made an offer, and the good guys rejected. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, the first rule in negotiating, you never take the first offer. So is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, that's fair to say. But all right, for how long?
So you would have taken I would have taken the offer, me personally, because I saw what they're offering.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you guys turn this down for what?
yeah, they pretty much got everything they were asking for, right? And I'm sitting here like, so what? Now you just trying to just pay? You want to get your leg back? Is that what it is at this point? Because I don't think the offer is going to get any better than what is at this point. But how do you see it?
I see it as you have been on strike for 122 days. IATSE has been out of work for months. Like local one is even struggling to keep people in check, right? Because I'm grateful enough to have somebody call me up and say, hey, we need people to load in and load out for of two stadiums that I have to go to in the middle of September, and then October I'm with Sephora. I'm grateful for that, but it's TV season. You guys can't afford to be like, oh well, that this isn't good enough. They're even saying that, and I looked at the recent one. They're even saying that the government's now getting involved.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you see the government stepping in? I know Gavin Newsom's been chomping at the bit to get these guys at the negotiating table to kind of make him. This would be a good look for Gavin Newsom if he's able to have them sit down and fix the problem. But what say you? Do you see getting that far?
I don't think so. Because it's like, well, who benefits from that? I mean, again, Gavin Newsom, he's. I mean, I don't know the politics of Hollywood, but if it's anything like New York, um, I don't think it's gonna go as well as they think it would. Um, Considering the fact that Hollywood is a billion-trillion-dollar industry, it's worth people coming to the table now and starting to make negotiations because as the weather changes and the weather's changing over here in New Jersey, it's like, dude, people are going to work again and people are trying to have some form of entertainment now people are weird, people are, and this is how I know people are dumb, and I'm not trying to be like a jackass about it, but I just know people are dumb. um so people are just like, I don't care about this strike, and I'm like, okay, cool. Do you go on streaming sites of any kind? Netflix, Hulu, and I also pirate my stuff. What do you watch? I watch Japanese stuff. I watch old shows. So you're still, so you're still giving Hollywood money, right? And they blank stares all around. I'm like, okay, this is how I know that you're dumb. All right, this is how I know, and this is how I know. Like, as much as I want an independent artist resurgence, I really, really, really do. It might not happen because the fact of the matter is that people are so, I would say, people are so comfortable to the point where they don't even know like how comfortable they really are.
Right, right, right.
Like people will watch a rerun of something and be like, I don't listen, I don't like Hollywood, but I'm still gonna watch this rerun and still give Hollywood money. You're comfortable. I'm like, that's fine with me. I'm cool with that. But I'm just saying, like, okay, as an independent, I know how hard it is to start a business, to start a studio, to start a YouTube channel. I know how difficult that is. But I also know that I got to keep consistent. I got to also, I got to pay my people. I got another person that works on my thumbnails, so I'm grateful for that. I got to, stay up day and night looking at all my research and all that stuff. It's definitely difficult being a creative. And I wish I would have a team with that. But I know that there's a lot of money that goes with that. And I would personally know that people got bills to pay. So most people would then want to go the union route or the W-4 route at least, you know. But I'm getting sidetracked. But the TV season is the biggest money grab for anybody, right? Considering like it's like YouTube. Think about it like YouTube.
Stupid
No,
ad dollars. Stupid ad dollars. But yeah.
ad dollars down the drain. I mean, this would be a good time for you people to start a YouTube channel. Okay, if you want to be on social media, I mean, start a YouTube channel, or what was it? Stephen Colbert and all these other cats that don't have talk shows are now doing podcasts. And I think Jimmy Fallon was saying that he wanted to retire. I
Yeah,
was like,
Jimmy Fallon, Colbert, they're doing like a three the hard way podcast,
it
and I was
sucks.
they
It
only had like
sucks.
6,000 in the box. I'm like, Jimmy Fallon has like 50 million followers on IG. What are we doing here?
Hold on. He has 50 million followers via the corporations that he works for.
True. Okay. Fair enough. Yep.
You know what
And
I'm
they
saying?
and they only pulled 6,000 in that live, and I was just like, that's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Because, without and it's to be quite transparent, if they did not have, the corporations, NBC, ABC, CBS, if they didn't have those companies, they would be like you and me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just regular schmucks with microphones doing podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
So we're already in September. We said October, November ish, and they're already projecting this thing will drag on into January, which I could still see that. I don't see this if they're already rejecting offers and the AMPTP is already offering what they want, and they're already rejecting what they're asking for. So will they go back to the drawing board another later on this month, possibly the 1st of October?
Would have to, because it's like you're suspending way too many movies that were supposed to come out. Like Deadpool 3 was supposed to come out.
That's another, yes. All the Disney Plus shows that are put on hiatus right now, Daredevil, Reborn, indefinitely. I don't think people realize how this is going to affect them until next year, when all these movie dates there will be no movies. Like the only ones that have guaranteed slots. I don't even know. They pushed everything back for 2024.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anthony G says video games got hit too. Yeah. They did. Yeah. I looked at that too. I think it was Activision. A few union houses that are gaming that they got hit too. And I was like, yeah, man, because they be working to the bone and all that other stuff, and I get it. All around, it does not look good. It really doesn't.
What are your thoughts on Marvel's VFX team voting to unionize?
We'll see how long that lasts.
So you don't take them serious?
I mean, I'm not saying I don't take them seriously, but it's just more or less like, all right, let's see. Disney's already a union house, and Marvel is semi a union house. There are certain divisions that aren't union. But if we kind of do the math right now, why would you want to be a union right now? Like, why? What benefits do you see of being a union?
Okay, good question. This is the best time. You'll never see the studios this weak or this vulnerable. Not for a long time ever moving forward after this. If you don't get it in now, you'll never see this opportunity again. Given all the horror stories we've heard with the VFX houses going through, I read the story about the VFX company that did the tiger CGI, The Life of Pi. They went out of business and they won an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
And so if those disenfranchised workers don't get together now, they will never have a better opportunity to ask, at least to be for fair working conditions. Like, you'll never have this opportunity again. The studios will never let this happen again. They'll never be this weak and this vulnerable ever again.
That true, true. And then I'm like, okay, now people are now they are threatening AI, and I'm just like, well, AI at this point is dumb. Like the intelligence of AI is not that good,
I
right?
agree. It's not.
You,
It's not there yet. Yeah. Yeah.
like Netflix and all of them are saying, well, okay, okay, you're gonna do this to us. All right, we're gonna hire programmers for $900,000 a year to do AI. AI is not that good. Okay, Chat GPT can't even make a good commercial. I've seen those commercials. All right, I'm like, dude, this is what you got. This is what you want to replace people with. I would say, I guess in 20 years, people would have to fear that, and it's not just the entertainment industry. If there is a kiosk, self-serving, or anything else like that, you will be you better be in fear of it. Okay, because like I said, it's not just the entertainment industry. It is the supermarkets, Burger King, McDonald's. You got all these other places that are saying, hey, look, you got online education pushing teachers out of business. I mean, let's be clear here. All jobs and industries will be affected by AI, whether they like it or not.
Let me ask you this: is this the best time for creatives to prepare to submit and or take the leap into Hollywood or into that creative that 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 industry?
You have a better chance doing shit yourself. You really do. Like, I mean, okay. So I was watching something not too long ago, and you got these college kids that are saying that they went to school for acting, $250,000. I don't know why the hell you would do that. Yeah, I'm like, bruh. But they were saying, like my dream of being a Hollywood actor, and I was just like, yeah, I personally would say like, okay, so you get into SAG AFTRA, right? You get into that union, but they will also tell you to, hey, you want some money? Yeah, like we need to do some AI work, some CGI work, and we need your body, your IP, your name in there, right? You're gonna take it. You got rent to pay. You got probably a grocery bill, a credit card you might be using. So it's like, I would personally say, yeah, as much me doing it, me being my own independent artist, building my own from the ground up is a lot of money, is a lot of funding, you know what I'm saying? And, if you want to, I guess what you would say, lick, boot lick, go right on ahead and do it. I don't personally care. But I would say, a lot of this kind of strike, I would say this type of strike kind of separates the boys from the men,
Hmm.
right? In a sense. Now, listen to me real quick. A lot of people would say that they are creatives. To a certain extent, I do agree with that. Like these writers, I've read a lot of scripts in my day, and I would say that most of these writers are not that creative, right? They are creative to the standards of the company, right? The company that hires them. So I can understand why, they would be hired. To a certain extent of like an Eric July, that does it his own way and does it, crowdfunding. Yeah, I would say that, that it separates the boys from the men, but it's like who survives longer, you know? Because everybody who is independent wants to go in the route of Hollywood. That's all. That's everybody. Kevin Samuels, when he was, blowing up on YouTube, Hollywood knocked on his door. He even said that on Fresh and Fit. Hollywood knocked on his door and saw his analytics and said, "Hey, we'll give you your own TV show." That's what YouTube was made for, like back in the day.
Right.
Um, what was that kid's name? Fred. The high pitched Fred guy. You know, he had millions upon millions of subscribers. With that high pitched voice and screaming and shit. And guess what? He had his own channel. He had his own show on Nickelodeon. Everybody who wants to be an independent does it independently for quite some time up until the bills need to be paid, and then they go straight to Hollywood. You know, so it happens that way.
Well, I agree. I have a little different take. As far as writers, I think this would be the best time Because once this shit is over, they're gonna snap up so much new material. They're gonna stockpile, and shit may sit on the shelves for years. But knowing your thing is getting turned into a spec, or if something's getting specced out, or first look, they're gonna it's gonna be a wave of new material just being bought, screenplays, just because, to avoid this ever happening again. And I think, as if you're a writer, screenplay, whatever, I think this would be the best time to register and get your and submit your stuff. Get cool with an agent if you can, because once this shit is over, it's gonna be a free fall. They're gonna start buying all types of. If the IP even sounds halfway decent, they're gonna buy it up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they always do that. I just think that yeah, what Nick said, yeah, Hollywood does not like competition. That's why they're $1 trillion industry.
Yeah.
They are their own Wall Street. They don't want you to be competition. Like what? Like why would they want you to be competition? To
Yeah.
what? To what?
Yeah, get down and lay down, or you can't beat us, you might as well join us. And everybody, and I keep saying, everybody wants to see their name in lights. Everybody, I don't. The majority of people want to see their name in lights. Those that are deemed creatives, nothing beats that, man. Nothing says I'm signed to this and this. I'm signed to such and such. I'm represented by this and this. There's no more cachet grander than that. That's instant clout when you walk through the door.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the thing. That's why there are A-list, B-list, and C-list
See,
celebrities.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are A-list, B-list, and C-list actors. If you're an A-list actor, you're in the Oscars. You're a part of the Grammys. You're a part of all that stuff, right? You get more benefits than anybody else, right? Multi-million-dollar homes. You a C-list actor. You're lucky enough to do CSI Miami. Lucky enough.
Yeah, the working
And
actors. It's funny. I don't knock the reality stars. I don't, because it's a check, and that's where they want to be. And people are still wanting to watch this. I look at what Lemire Plummer has done with Zeus Network.
right, yeah.
It's insane. It's insane, and he's doing his model with the actors, whatever per se, and it's like a partnership, not so much a 360 deal. So I learned a lot by listening to him, how he does his way of dealing with his people, and I think he's spot on. It's it's still ratchet, but man, listen,
I mean, take a look at. Take
Yeah.
a look at. I'm sorry, but
No, no.
great example would be like Eric Andre,
Yeah.
right? Let's kind of break down Eric
my
Andre, because that's going to be my next video.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
talking about Eric Andre. Eric Andre did the Eric Andre show while he was a Geico caveman.
That's
He was
right.
he was one of the Geico cavemen before they stopped doing that.
Talk about it.
But also he was doing the Eric Andre show, like like the destroying shit and all that stuff from an abandoned bodega in Brooklyn. And then Mike Lazo saw his show and said, we'll give you full creative freedom. But here's the thing. Eric was doing all of the video editing by himself, right? Because he couldn't afford it. So he was
That's right.
recording it with all of his friends,
That's
and
right.
then he would do all of the other stuff before Mike Lazo gave him a budget and a team. And it's been there ever since. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I mean,
people,
Eric is talented enough to do it by himself, but I just think that Adult Swim is giving. Listen, William Street is giving money away. Okay, so that's
yeah.
what they do.
Another case of point. People forget Issa Rae with Insecure. She started off as a YouTuber. People forget she was doing it on YouTube for years before HBO came crawling. The one chick, well, she's actually a man, but she's a chick, the dark skinned, the British chick. She was YouTube for years before HBO came crawling. She had multiple deals on the table. So yes, for those that want to be in front of the screen as well as doing the work behind the scenes, I think YouTube is the best platform to showcase that skill set, because it teaches you all aspects of production, pre-post, how to be in front of the camera, things of that nature. Once you get that, if they can see a semblance of that, okay, you get it. Let's give you a bigger platform. Let's get you some help, and yeah, they'll come knocking. They'll come calling.
Right. Yeah. That's just how it is, right? People want to, say I'm gonna be a creative, but uh, listen, I wanted to be something else, but I knew like down the line I would have to be a creative at some point, and I guess that's how I did my bread and butter anyway. But as I learned about the industry, I just said that it is who you know. If you're gonna rustle up feathers, that is a big no no. You will get blacklisted. Um, I mean, there are rules to this shit, man. And if you want to do it by yourself, trust me, I commend it. But there is a reason why there are not so many independent artists and or independent artists sell quicker. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, looking at what Young Ripper has, that's crowdfunded. I think that is just people, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there is a market of, there is a culture, there is a counterculture to the culture war. And to that, I would say like people want Hollywood to go down. It's never will. And even if it did, what would rise up in the ashes, right? What would rise up in the ashes? Nothing.
Okay,
Because
let me
people
ask. Okay.
because people are not as creative as they think.
Oh, okay. Here's a question I have for you. If DC and Marvel had not been floundering the way they have been, does Ripperverse still do what it does?
I would say that there would be a little bit more. There would be a little bit more competition. Like Rippaverse would have to sell a product that would have to then rustle the feathers of both Marvel and DC. Like I would say, like ISOM is a good comic book. I would say that it has the potential to do better. But I would say if ISOM was like on, like if it really was traveling, if Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or any of these anime or like let's say Funimation wanted to pick it up and it started getting traction like that, yeah, there would be a problem, right? Because that a black man getting a Funimation deal or anything else like that, that should be ours. That's how DC and Marvel look at that.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would he be better off prepping to do an animated film on his own at some point? Or does he just stick to the comics and leave it at that?
No, you gotta step into animation now. Do it
Oh,
now.
okay, do you think he will do so?
Oh yeah, no, he
Is
has
he
been doing
prepping
it.
already?
Oh yeah, he's prepping it.
Okay. See,
Now
once again,
now you have to piss up. Now you have to, because see the thing is that you can make a comic book. Anybody can make a damn comic book. I'm doing it right now. But animation itself, like moving pictures, that's where the real money is. And if you can get a box office, if you can get, excuse me, if you can get either a streaming service or a movie theater to play your ISOM movie or animation show or something else like that, and it gets close to around, I want to say 100,000 views to almost 1 million views, and it ranks in more ad revenue. That's when they get mad.
yeah, there's a few companies that help you get your stuff on the Netflix, onto the streaming sites. You go through them, they're third party, but they help and make it easier for you to get it to do the encoding, the caption, the closed captioning. Every streaming site has its own type of encoding files. They help you do that type of stuff. So if he's able to go ahead and produce an animated film, there's nobody to stop him from getting it on the streaming. Somebody's going to pick it up on a streaming site regardless. And
Right.
I think once he does that, the clock starts ticking on when he sells the IP.
I mean, we shall see about that. I think that if he can, if he can hold his ground on how much money he ranks in, you know, I just think that I think he's got a chance. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah, nah. Nerdrotic, yeah, they've been pushing Rippaverse pretty heavy. But also like Nerdrotic is a part of that, culture war type of discussion when it comes down to Hollywood. I try to stay away from that because I've been a part of the culture war and I understand it enough to know that it is a symbiotic relationship. What I mean by that is one can't live without the other. As much as they would love Hollywood to go down, there are two problems with that sort of sentiment. Hollywood goes down, but what is neurotic without Hollywood? You know?
It's good and evil, and I don't think people realize how much Hollywood impacts the cities that they film in, the hotel industry, the Ubers, the Airbnbs, the eateries, and you know, there's so many different industries.
I know, just
Yeah, speak to that if you can.
so I used to work for a scenic shop, and we needed to do an install for not Good Morning America, but a few other TV shows that were airing at that time. And to get us down there, that required money. And I'm so glad that I didn't have to pay for it. But the boarding, I got to stay at the at a good Marriott hotel. What I'm saying, it was, listen, I was on the company car, so I wasn't trying to do it big, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, that food make you fat, man. I'm telling you, man, being on a company, listen, but you a good carpenter and you know what you're doing and you know how to install, they will pay you. I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
there's a reason why the end credits are as long as they are. I mean, just look at the names and the industries it affects. You know, outside of just filming and recording, there's a reason why those credits are as long as they are. I mean, they feed so many people, and I just the average. I don't think the average American understands how important, how vital Hollywood is. Good or however you view it, good or evil, Hollywood is needed, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah.
I mean, prop shops are going down. Catering services are like, trying to stay afloat. Hotels are just like, after touring, like after the tourists leave, like who else is gonna, be in the hotels? Because usually it'd be guys like me. Like I need to stay in a hotel for a few days. Oh, okay, yeah. They drop. I mean, they'd be dropping the prices down on me though. You know, but it's just, I think people don't understand that, you're asking for an economy to go down. Now, again, like I said, you are, as much as you would want to destroy Hollywood, you are complacent with it, right? Right after this, right after YouTube, you might turn this off. You might go on Netflix or some other place and watch, I don't know, Family Guy or something else like that. And you just be like, I'm gonna go watch a rerun on what streaming service.
Yeah, pick one. Yeah.
You are complacent. Do you have your own form of entertainment? No. Okay then. I'm gonna go play video games.
Voice actors. Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, okay. So I'm just saying, as to many people, you are complacent. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it as a I'm a jerk, I'm a jackass sort of thing. It is what it is. Like, unless people today were to be as creative and create their own studios, number one, which they'll never do. Number two, create their own entertainment, which they'll never do. It's like, and although we live in a time, day, and age where you can, just because you can does not mean you should. I'm just
I
saying.
agree. I agree. But I find it funny that everybody has a Hollywood right here, and they just, for
Yeah,
those that,
yeah.
we all have a mini production, post, pre, you know, uh, in the palm of our hands. Some of us choose to use it for its purposes, its full potential, and others not so much. Yeah. When I hear the Hollywood must burn talk, it's like you guys, you know how you sound crazy, like Hollywood. No, if Hollywood burns, and then people forget that all the different investors that invest, the corporate investors that invest in these movies, it's not Hollywood. These studios don't cut a check; they get corporate investors to fund the monies, to for these movies. They have the investors, so it's a that ties into Wall Street. That's a trickle down effect nobody wants no part of if Hollywood ever goes down, which will
Yeah,
never happen. But
I'm just saying, like, you want Hollywood to go down, then I'll see you at Wall Street. Then
yeah,
will you occupy Wall Street? No.
yeah, how would
Why?
that work out for everybody?
Are you scared of Wall Street? Yes, I'm scared of Wall Street. Why? You got assets in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm always looking at people like, all right, so you guys are no different than like the liberals who like to talk about Occupy Wall Street. Okay.
Well, let me ask you. Do you feel the content will be better once this strike is lifted? Do you feel that there will be better written scripts, better told stories? Will we have more Successions and House of Dragons type of content that people like thoroughly enjoy, or will we get more of the same She-Hulk per se?
I would say one would hope. I would have hope. But we all know how this ends. We all know how this ends.
Oh, so it depends on who's producing the content.
It all depends on who's producing it.
Okay.
Because, well, here's the thing. And this is what I love about this, right? That people that love to talk about Hollywood burning, I'm like, okay, all right, Hollywood burns. And like I said, something has to rise out of the ashes of what was destroyed. Do you have a script today that I can read and be like, yeah, I would watch this TV show?
Mm-hmm.
No? Okay. Or maybe I do have a script. Okay. I read about a sentence or two sentences. I just do this. I just say, all right, I'm done. I'm bored. You didn't read it. It's terrible.
Yeah, they normally give you, I think it's 20 to 25 pages. And if they don't, if it doesn't catch them within that, they're gonna trash it or pass
And
pass it
it's
on.
not me. And again, this is not me being a dick. It's just me being honest with you. This is how the industry works. And I'm not thinking about it as like a Hollywood snob. I'm thinking about it as a businessman. I want something to sell. Okay? Don't waste my time and my money. Would you like it if I waste your time and your money on a project that wouldn't do well?
No.
No,
Um,
like I'm just saying that, when you think about the time, effort, and possibly money that goes into shows or movies or anything else like that, you have to think about like, all right, in 20 pages or less, how can I sell this to you?
that's why I'm glad you said that. That's why I hate when big YouTubers try to sell non-YouTubers the pathway to become a great YouTuber. That's not the reality, and I hate that. And that's another rant for another day. You just
I,
can't.
listen, we can I can give you the quick notes on that. All right,
Oh.
so like the quick notes on that. I had two different channels that, not even including Red Sings the Blues in this one. I had two different channels when YouTube was a baby, and this was when YouTube was easy. YouTube wasn't it wasn't, you didn't have AdSense or anything else like that. Those channels were ranking 20, 30,000 subscribers without even trying, right? And all I did was just YouTube posts, which was easy views because people, were looking for that shit, right? But as YouTube got more corporate, then you couldn't do it anymore. Plus Viacom got involved. So I created, another channel which got 5,000 subscribers. That channel got axed because of Viacom. Then 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, I created Red Sings the Blues, which got over 8,000 subs. And then that channel got demonetized. And now I have this new channel, which I just dedicate to nothing but the entertainment industry. 2,000, 2 videos later, that shit's getting thousands of views. And I'm so glad that, people are subscribing to the channel. But it's just like, as people think that it's easy being on YouTube, it really isn't.
God, no, it's not, man. I wish more YouTubers spoke on the difficulties of being a YouTuber. Like, that's why I said you can't package this up in a course and sell it to people and say, "Hey, all you guys buy this course, you all too can be like me." That's it. Does no, because if that were the case, it'd be 50 of mini me's of you running around here with 100,000. No, that's not how it works. Everybody's not special. I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not sorry to say that. I'm not special.
We're done.
You know how many channels? Listen, you know how many channels that I compete with 400, 100,000 subscribers. I'm just a 141 subscriber channel, but I'm picking up steam.
Yeah.
when I made it, when they start knocking on my door, or making videos about me, which has happened before with the last channel that I did, Red Sings the Blues. And guess what? That channel didn't get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I was able to get people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers to that channel.
Yeah.
As crazy as that was.
Like we're competing. Like when I see somebody with 2, 3, 400,000, they're like the top 1/10 of the 1%. You know what I'm saying? Like there's 51 million YouTube channels, and for us to get the numbers we get, that's better. That you know what I'm saying? That's top 25, top 20% of YouTube, just off those numbers alone. So just by the numbers alone, we're better than most. We're better than average. You know what I'm saying? And you know how hard it is to even get those numbers. No, everybody is not special. Everybody doesn't want to hear your story. You know, you don't look good on camera. There's just a whole bunch of shit that goes into this, and people make it seem like it's not a walk in the park. It's disrespectful.
It really isn't. I'm telling you, I'm grateful for the people that are subscribing to the new channel, Stagehands In. I'm very glad you're gonna like the content. I got a new video coming out this week, but even I know that I'm looking at my competition and how they're selling their products about the entertainment industry. I need to sell it 10 times better than what they're doing. But not only that, I copy them. Okay. How can I sell and how can I package my video to a point where people want to click on it? Now, what was funny about the Toonami video, and I don't know, I'm kind of rambling, but what I found out about the Toonami video is that nobody really kind of did the like the actual history of Toonami. So I stayed up probably for it. I stayed up until probably 2 a.m. looking at everything Toonami and breaking it down, like breaking it down bit by bit. But that's what I started to realize is that, okay, people can talk about that, but usually people talk about that and it takes them a while to do so. How can I do it in a week?
Now think about that. Now that's the marketing aspect that people don't talk about. So we have to figure out catchy titles, nice thumbnails, metadata. So that's the marketing aspect of running your channel that no one talks about. You can't just teach this to people. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it's so disingenuous. Like it's really disrespectful when you think you could just sell people on a dream and an idea. Yeah, you should. No, you should. No, you can't. No.
Really, and I am one person to say, don't. From a person that's been with 5 different bands over the course of like 2-3 years, don't.
Yeah.
Okay, you will be immensely disappointed. You realize that one of my guitarists that used to be in one of the top 10 bands in New Jersey dropped his band 2 years ago because of some really shady shit. And I was like, yeah, no, I know that. I kind of figured that, but again, that band is disbanded and all other stuff. But like Sigma Lifestyle says, YouTube seems to be rewarding the vanilla content now. They are. They really are. Unfortunately, it's only because YouTube is saying that, okay, all this other stuff in which we are now responding. You can thank Fresh and Fit, Sneeko, you know what I'm saying? Those types of people. I'm sorry. You want to go over there. Go over there. Go over there. Go to those dudes across the street and many of them like them, right? And say, you screwed up the bag for us, okay? You screwed up that bag. That is your fault, okay? And I'm not trying. Listen, I'm not saying that I'm out of the woodwork either. All right, but they have bigger numbers than me, so go over there and talk to them about that because it was their fault. They were the ones that when the Supreme Court looked at Sneeko, doing a salute and making fun of the star people, did he get his channel axed? Did Myron doing all that other goofy shit? Did he get his demonetization? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over there and thank them for that.
And it's funny because I just got back. I was talking to my case manager, and I said, I told him, I said, it'd be nice if YouTube actually identified the problematic videos. He tells me, he says, well, I hear what you're saying, but YouTube does not tell creators how to edit their videos. I said that's not what I asked. That's not what I said. But that's how they view it. So for them to tell you what's wrong with your content or which videos are a problem, they would consider that infringing upon your editing process of your channel.
They don't have, that's just the funny part about YouTube. It's like, well, people can cheer that you are demonetized. And I wasn't, listen, I was like, okay, there was a bit of shining fraud in me to be like, okay, it was a long time coming for Fresh and Fit. But then on top of that, it happened to me, and it happened to me before it happened to them. So it was just like, all right, okay, then I'll just pivot then. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. Here's what I did. I watched this guy who was talking about how to get remonetized on the channel. I closed my AdSense on that Red Sings the Blues account. Listen, it's been demonetized and that account is closed. I'm not going to be doing that again because there's already an ID on it, right? There's already a channel ID. It still gets views. It's kind of still gets subscribers for some apparent reason. Even though I don't do content on the channel anymore, like it's just like, it is what it is.
It's cool. All right, brethren. I had you on for about an hour. I ain't gonna keep that noise late over there. By all means, please plug your channel and
All right.
everybody can find you and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm not on Red Sings the Blues anymore, and I guess that's a burner account. The new channel, Stagehands In. I talk about nothing but entertainment industry stuff, and I will do live streams. I mean, one of these days. So I guess when I reach 1,000 subscribers and more than 1,000 views, I'll start live streaming again. But I'm Stagehands In is the new channel that I just talk about entertainment industry stuff. If you do have a request, if you want me to talk about a show or something else like that, just hit me up on my business email, Stagehands In. There is an Instagram. You can hit me up on there and all that good stuff.
So with that being said, I'm gonna call them Red Sings the Blues, but y'all can call them Stagehands. Stagehands.
Yeah, that's my new channel.
Yeah, yes, go sub to the new channel. By all that good stuff. So man, my man, thank you, bro, for chiming in. Definitely wanna. So we're looking at January for this strike to be over. You think?
Probably.
That's official.
Probably.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we'll be keeping our ears to the street and keep you guys abreast on this. To me, it's a fascinating topic because it affects way more than people want to give it credit for, which is a shame because this thing, the people must be entertained. If they don't have proper entertainment, they go crazy. So,
of course. Well, yeah. I mean, the entertainment people say they don't care, but people do care because it's just like, well, I'm not entertained, If you say you don't care, I'm just like, you're not entertained, huh? You're not entertained.
That's what it is, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You don't have a show to put on. You put on your own show. And what's a good show? Watching people, not pay their bills on time. I'm just saying. I'm on that boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. All right, bro. I'm gonna let you get up out of here. I'm gonna get up out of here myself and
all right, man.
Go do stuff. Man. As always, thank you for coming through. Thank you, bro.
No problem. Thank you.
Right, peace. All right. That was our Hollywood edition for tonight. I'm gonna get up out of here because I was tired. Oh, okay. Saturday, we're going to do the Color Purple watch party. Do you understand? Hear me. Next Saturday, we're going to do the Color Purple watch party. I gotta find out which streaming site it's on, and we're gonna do that Saturday night. We're gonna watch. Well, some of y'all can watch it with me, and then others can watch me watch the Color Purple. But that's what we're doing Saturday night, Color Purple watch party. We're gonna just relive the Mr. and Seeley dysfunction and the Suge dysfunction all over again. Harpo dysfunction. I think some of us need a reminder of the dysfunction. So with that being said, yes. Yes, indeed. I'm thinking, cause I'm 2 to 3 hours behind everybody. So I'm thinking 9 to 10 p.m. Central or Eastern, which would be 6 or 7 for me. But as we progress throughout the week, I'll set reminders. I'll even set the live off the YouTube because I'm gonna just stream it off straight YouTube, and we'll set it up, and I'll find out which streaming site it's on. But I'm thinking 7 my time, which would be 9, 10 some of you guys' time. So it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I've been saying it for the longest. We're gonna do the Color Purple watch party. We have to revisit the dysfunction. Steven Spielberg, damn you, and all those black people that brought us that dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? So that's what. Is it going to be on the wake up? Not sure. I'm not sure, but I'll keep everybody. It'll be on this channel. I'll keep everybody posted. So that's what's up. All right, get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Peace.